What's up, travelers? It's Eliz from Main Street Travel coming to you today from Joshua Tree National Park, which is one of the over 60 national parks in the United States. And this one is located in Southern California. It kind of combines two deserts. It's the meeting of two deserts. And it's famous for these Joshua trees right here behind me. And today we are going to get into a list of things to bring if you come and visit this specific Joshua Tree National Park. So let's get into it. The absolutely most important thing for you to bring with you is water, and lots of it. So my husband and I both brought these 32-ounce water bottles with us, and we've already had to refill them after only being here for a couple hours so far. So you go through a lot of water here in the desert, and you want to have a ton with you, a lot of backups, that sort of thing. There's not really water available very much around the park. There's like tiny little water fountains here and there at certain of the restrooms and stuff like that around the park, but definitely bring water with you. Speaking of the restrooms that you find around the park, there are ones at each of the hiking paths, at least that we've experienced so far, but they don't have sinks, so definitely bring with you hand sanitizer. I am filming this during the pandemic, and so you also want to bring other PPE if you're going to be here during the pandemic as well. But hand sanitizer we've found to be kind of like pulling double duty on that one. And as I mentioned before, this is a meeting of two deserts, the Mojave and the Colorado Desert here at Joshua Tree National Park. And the desert is very sunny, regardless of what time of year you're here. So I'm here right now filming in mid-April, but it's going to be sunny year-round, and you want to bring sunscreen. So I have with me my face sunscreen in my bag. We also reapply sunscreen with the spray kind and the lotion kind on the parts of our bodies that are exposed to the sun before each hike, just because it gets really hot and there's actually very little shade. I mean, Joshua trees, they're not going to be providing you like a lot of cover from the sun. So bring that sunscreen and reapply. And the next thing to bring is sunglasses, because as I just mentioned, it's very sunny here, and if you are not really into sunglasses or you wear regular glasses usually and a hat is going to work for you, you can bring those too. A lot of people we've seen are actually wearing those hats with the brims on the neck as well to shade their neck from the sun exposure too. So make sure to bring sunglasses or a hat or both, because you're definitely going to want to have those when you're here and walking around on the trails. So the next thing to definitely bring is layers, and it's a desert, as I keep mentioning, and the deserts in the southern part of the United States get really cool in the evenings and stay cool kind of in the early mornings and towards the evening after the sun goes down. So if you're gonna be here kind of in those earlier late hours or even overnight, you're going to want to bring layers in order to stay warm. Throughout the day, you're probably going to be hot, depending on the time of the year. Maybe not. Definitely check the weather forecast, but right now it's probably in the mid-80s Fahrenheit. So I'm actually warm just wearing this black shirt and my black leggings. But I actually like to wear leggings, just want to add this for the women out there, because there's cacti around, and so just as you're walking around, it feels like an extra layer of protection from the cacti. But honestly, Derek's wearing shorts today, and he's been fine, so take this advice as you will and figure out what makes the most sense for you, but definitely bring layers regardless, so that way you have different options throughout the day. The next thing to think about bringing if you're going to be here when it's dark or getting dark is a headlamp or some sort of flashlight, maybe not just one on your phone, and I'll get to that in a second about why, but bringing some sort of light source on top of what would be on your phone. There's no lights around here, and so you just want to make sure that you can see. There's different animals that we've seen and, you know, rocks, and you just want to avoid running into anything that you don't want to. And speaking of phones, there is no cell phone service really in this park. So if you're going to be doing a lot of video or trying to do mapping or anything like that, there's two things I want to talk to you about thinking about bringing. Number one is make sure that you have at least a connector cord that can connect your phone into your car to charge it while you're driving, or bring an external battery that you can plug your phone into in order to charge. So we've been charging our phones the entire time we've been driving from place to place throughout the park, but they still wear on battery because there's no cell phone service, and so it's been straining the batteries of our phones, and we just want to make sure that we warn you guys to think about that and prepare. You can also put it into airplane mode when you're here to kind of conserve battery, but certainly make sure that you are thinking about battery sources that are available to you. The next thing to think about, in kind of the same vein of not having cell phone service, is if you are like us, we like to rely on Google Maps and that sort of thing in order to navigate usually. We typically lean towards cell phones for navigation versus paper maps, but there is no cell phone service here, so your Google Maps will likely not work. So either download your Google Maps in advance or use an app like maps.me and download that in advance too, that can kind of work offline. We love that for a lot of different travel purposes, but maps.me has worked here in the park because we downloaded it in advance. And then also at each visitor center, there are maps that you can pick up before you enter the park. There's 3 different separate entrances, and make sure to do that just as a backup. The last 2 things that I'm going to mention are a little bit more geared towards your comfort and aren't necessarily, imperative for visiting the park, but we have found that we are very glad that we have these at hand. Is number 1, bug spray. There are flies and gnats and stuff that maybe you've seen flying around me as we've been filming this video. I feel like I keep kind of diving them, but they have been on each trail that we visited so far. And the first trail that I went on, I didn't have bug spray on. That's got to go in the video. The first trail I went on, I didn't have bug spray on, and I felt like I was kind of being found by all the bugs. This one, up until a couple minutes ago, I was doing okay on the bug spray front, I think, because I had put some on before entering this trail. Of course, now that I'm filming, they're finding me. But definitely bring bug spray, and you're going to be a little bit happier, I think. And the last thing besides bug spray to bring for your own kind of comfort is regarding your footwear choice. So as you can see, I'm wearing my high top hiking shoes. I know they're not super cool, but they have come in such great handy because my alternative would be to bring like tennis shoes, and my tennis shoes at least have like a mesh siding to it, like most do, most athletic shoes do. And as you can see, all the trails and like the ground here is extremely sandy and gritty, and all of that would just get right into the mesh, and you would just have to wash your shoes essentially when you got home. So this has been great. I haven't gotten anything inside of the ankles, and I've been able to keep kind of that sand out of my socks and stuff throughout the day. And beyond that, we've also been able to capitalize on having that ankle support, because a lot of the trails that we've chosen, even though they've been shorter, like a mile or mile and a half long, they've had a little bit of like rock scramble to them, and so having that ankle support is nice at the end of the day as well. So I hope you guys all liked this video about the things to definitely bring with you when you visit Joshua Tree National Park. If there's anything that I missed, definitely put it in the comment section down below, because it's great for all of us in this community to learn from each other. And also, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up down below, because it helps really support free travel content on YouTube. If you haven't already, please press that red subscribe button down below too, so you don't miss any of our travel videos and travel tips to come. Thanks everybody for watching. Cheers. Happy travels. Enjoy Joshua Tree. Bye. I hope you guys really liked these tips for, sorry, hold on. Whew. Your shoe and what the fuck? Okay.
You're so mad. Stop.
Hey travelers, don't forget to subscribe, and let's hang out more. Here are some links to other helpful travel videos on my channel, and press that notification bell so you don't miss any new and awesome travel videos to come.